I think of all the things I've done in high school, the most successful thing that I've done was the pyramid scheme. But you gotta start earlier.
My post-high school plan is to go to Texas A&M University. I'm going to major in kinesiology and do a 3 years bachelor's, 2 years master's program there. After that, I'm maybe going to physical therapy school and then planning to be an athletic trainer for hopefully a sports team, specifically baseball.
If I were to give any advice to myself before I started my senior year, it would be to not procrastinate and use better time management skills. I spent too much time my senior year waiting until the last minute to study for tests and quizzes.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. My plan after high school is going to attend the University of Southern California and then find a job in America, work for a few years, and return back to China.
My favorite memory in high school was probably sophomore year camp, because that was the year when I started making a lot of friends here, and the camp really brought me closer to my friend groups who I talk with a lot now, and that's probably my favorite memory here.
My favorite memory of VCS is when I was on the soccer team and it was senior night and all the parents of the soccer players got together and made it really special for the seniors that were going out. This is our last year and they made it really special. It was really cool.
My favorite VCS memory is hanging out with my friends in the cabins, and it's my favorite memory because those are memories I'm going to remember for a long time, and after, it's going to be one of the main things I remember from the school.
After high school, I want to attend Academy Art in San Francisco, and I want to learn more about animation and storytelling so that I can teach lessons of the Bible through very interesting animation and the storytelling.
My favorite VCS memory is when the varsity volleyball team beat Chowchilla in NorCal's, effectively creating the school record for the farthest the volleyball team has ever gone.
Hi, my name's Sarah. My favorite VCS memory was staying up late with friends and talking about celebrities and music in the cabin at retreat late at night. And I had fun meeting new friends and talking to teachers and getting to know them outside of a classroom setting.
Okay. The advice I'd give to my past self at the beginning of the school year for seniors would be to treasure all the memories we had and to just take a step back and relax during the school year and to make sure to plan more events with my friends and hang out with them during school more.
My plan after high school is I'm going to spend a year in South America traveling and learning more Spanish, and then I'm planning to go to the community college for my prerequisite classes and then go to nursing school.
An important life lesson that I learned in high school is that you should never let your self-doubt cripple you during your high school life, okay? It's like trying to drive a car with no engine. You're not going to get anywhere, and you're just going to let yourself down throughout your high school time. So get out, don't care about what others think of you, and have fun, do whatever you want to do, and enjoy the time you have in high school because it's very, very limited.
An important life lesson I learned while in high school was not being afraid to meet new people. When I moved from Kentucky to California, I was kind of worried because I didn't know anyone at all at this VCS, but branching out of my comfort zone and meeting new people allowed me to build a lot of new relationships with new friends.
My favorite memory of being a part of VCS is playing sports here, especially football, and being a part of a family in one unit, and my reason for that is because it taught me a lot of things and how to grow and become a young man.
One of my favorite life skills learned here in high school was when Mr. Kosavage taught us how to change a tire and how essential it was to use the star pattern to tighten and loosen the lug nuts.
After high school, I want to go into the military and become a firefighter. Then after the military, I want to get my EMT certification, and I'll work for an ambulance company, and then I'll apply to different fire stations and try to become a firefighter.
For my future plans, I'll be attending Baylor University, where I'll be majoring in astrophysics because I've always had a passion for space and learning about it through math and such. And I'll also be participating in the honors program, and hopefully afterwards I can maybe go into some sort of research where I can keep pursuing it.
My favorite memory was at the senior camp when the girls did the dance at the talent show. I got to dress up as a boy with Audrey Martinez, and we had a really great time.
After high school, I'm gonna go to Seattle and study art in Washington University. After I get a degree, I'm gonna go LA for entertainment management.
My favorite VCS memory is the retreat in my senior year, because that was my only retreat in VCHS, and that really impressed me. An important life lesson I have learned during high school is how to communicate and develop the relationship between me and my friends. And I also have made a lot of friends during high school. And if I would give advice to the self before I started my senior year, I would say just enjoy your senior year, especially the first semester physically in VCHS with your friends, and say goodbye to them before you leave.
The advice that I will give to myself before starting the senior year is to go to the prom and go every dance that you want before the senior, because you wouldn't have a chance to attend to all the dance that you want in the senior year.
My favorite VCS memory would have to be the Chowchilla game, and that would be because when we walked into the gym, there were so many balloons and their entire city filled their stands, and there were cardboard cutouts of every player on their team, and we came in and we took the win. And when Sarah hit that last ball, there were different emotions going on. Some girls were happy, some girls were crying. The seniors were super happy because they didn't have to walk away with their last game, and it was just a good game.
So if I could give myself advice starting senior year, I would say hi to teachers more often, and I would also spend more time with the underclassmen, like having more lunches with them, because I realized that since my senior year got cut off, I could have had a lot more memories from it.
My favorite VCS memory is my freshman year last soccer game against Golden Sierra. Golden Sierra had us beat 3-0 by the end of the first half, but within the last couple minutes I was able to score my first goal of the season and one of my last goals up until senior year. It became 1-3, and it was so exciting that my nerves got the better of me and I didn't even get to celebrate my own goal. We shut them out in the second half and was able to win our last game of the season. It was a thrill, to be honest. It was so exhilarating to have that win and to finish off such a season. It was just such great friends and seniors that were so supportive of me, and to score for the seniors so I didn't let them down. It meant a lot to me, and so yeah, later on when we had our banquet, I was able to celebrate thanks to my coaches, and it was just a really fun time. Because that's my freshman year soccer is one of the best memories I'll ever have of high school.
Okay. The important life lesson I've learned during this year would be to cherish the times and the memories that you have with your friends and the people that you do go to high school with. Appreciate your teachers, make memories with your friends, and just generally have a great time overall, because you don't get that time back.
I'm going to Solano for 2 years, and I'm going to start studying fire technology. Then I'm going to transfer to a 4-year and finish with a bachelor's degree. While at Solano, I'll be getting my certification for EMT and CPR.
My plan after high school is go to college in China. The major I want to choose is economics. So After college, I will be a businessman, I think, because my father and mother is all businessmen.
So after I graduate from high school, I would like to stay in America and go to a college which is in Florida International University. But maybe I will return to China and continue my studies. So, however, no matter how I choose, I believe I can do well. Okay, thank you.
My plan after I graduate from this local Christian high school is to go back to China to attend college. I will start looking for a job or participate in an internship 2-4 years later. Thank you.
One piece of advice I would give to myself before starting my senior year is to learn how to let things go and learn how to live in the moment. It's really important to know who you are and be able to express that without fear of people judging you. And I wish I would have done more of that.
One important life lesson I learned in high school was to keep my circle small and have close friends that I could call family. I didn't have a whole bunch of friends that I couldn't rely on because I didn't feel it was necessary.
After high school, I plan to go to the University of Nevada, Reno, where I will be studying electrical engineering, and I will take that knowledge out of college to become a broadcast engineer, where I will work with radio stations, television stations, cellular towers, and any other type of wireless communication.
So my favorite high school memory is definitely all the sports teams I joined, which were volleyball, swim, cross country, and cheer. But my favorite one out of all of them was definitely cross country. I met some of my best friends and I had amazing coaches. I was coached by Coach Barch, Dr. Gaborko, and Coach Douglas. And that was my favorite sport because of the team bond. We really made a family in that team. And not only was this sport physically challenging, it was also mentally challenging. And I learned a lot throughout my years of cross country.
After high school, I plan on going to Solano Community College to get my associates in psychology. Then I plan on transferring to a 4-year college to get my bachelor's in psychology so I can enter the Air Force as an officer. I've always wanted to go into the psychology field because it's just been such an interesting topic for me.
My favorite VCS memory was retreat, my junior and senior year. One of the reasons why I enjoyed it both years was because I was able to get in the same cabin as my friends, and being able to hang out with my friends for about 2 or 3 nights when we normally can't see each other outside of school that often. It was really cool. We ended up having late night activities like having a PS4 on a bed sheet using a projector, and we stayed up really late playing video games, and yeah, that was pretty fun.
If I could give myself one piece of advice for my entire high school, it would be don't ever wait to do something. Don't ever think that I don't need to do this. Take every opportunity that you can get, because before you know it, those opportunities aren't going to be there anymore. This year, I tried to make the most of things, and it's been the best year I've ever had. Go to every dance, go to every event. This is the time that you have to make the most of your life.
One important lesson I've learned throughout high school is the importance of relying on close friends and family for advice and to help you through your problems. It's been really helpful for me to just have people close to me that I can talk to about anything and just vent to whenever I need it.
I have some plan for my future, so I choose the University of Connecticut for my first college, and I probably chose engineer and business major. But however, I'm gonna go to the Boston University after 2 years.
I plan after high school to serve in the Navy, and I plan to be a chef. I also want to attend the Culinary School of America and hopefully further that. I wanted to be a chef as a child. I was always cooking, and now that I'm older, it gives me a great creative outlook.
My plan after high school is going to UC Davis for college. Although I haven't completed my major, I am considering to become a doctor because biology is really one of my favorite class in high school, and also during the coronavirus time. On the news, I really saw a lot of doctors that doing a lot of things for society. I'm really looking up to them, and I think I will try to become a doctor in the future.
The most valuable life lesson I learned in high school is that the Lord's plans are the best plans for me, and it's better than anything that I can think of or any road that I can go down myself. And the trying times in high school and in life are just to refine my faith and to grow me closer to the Lord.
I would say that my favorite memory in VCS is that the retreat that we went every year in September, just because I think it is really fun and interesting. We played many sports with our friends, and we can live with our friends, and then we also listen to many interesting speech from the pastor. Yeah, I think it's really good.
My future plan is going to Syracuse University, studying as much hard as I can, and doing some work, do as much stuff I want to do as I can. Enjoy my life and be safe and be healthy.
If my future self could give advice to myself now, I would say don't expect too much from yourself and just don't try to live up to expectations, because then you may not be happy in the end.
My favorite VCS memory is spending all the time in the classes with my friends. Whenever you get classes with your friends, you knew it was going to be a good class. Messing around with all my friends and making the teacher's day, it's just that much brighter, and leaving them with memorable moments from me and my friends.
So my favorite memory in high school is retreat, because it's a time I could enjoy my life with my friends together and just without all of the schoolworks, and moreover I could stay with Jesus together and learn more about Jesus and God and all of the Bible.
What's up, VCS? Pastor Jason here, youth pastor at Harvest Church. What an honor and a privilege it is to be asked to be able to take a few moments and speak to you guys. Before I do, I want to honor Mr. Davis, Mr. Rowland, Mrs. Golden, faculty and staff. You guys have done an incredible job this year managing all the uncertainty, and we salute you. I had the privilege this year of being the high school retreat speaker. It was one of the privileges of this year of being able to minister to your students. And watching the seniors step up that week was just really the highlight of my year. I remember being able to share a little bit about my story, and I just want to lead into some comments and give you some background of why Mr. Rowland asked me to share with you. I was fresh out of high school, just married. My wife got diagnosed with cancer. The drugs that she took caused kidney failure. I remember having my firstborn, Jaden. Jaden got diagnosed with this rare disease called opsoclonus myoclonus. Happens in 1 in 1 million children nationwide. I remember telling a story to you high school seniors about being on the 10th floor of the Oakland Hospital, the Kaiser there in downtown Oakland, and really just getting mad at God through the disappointments of my life. And it was in that moment where I met the friend that I want to introduce you guys to today. I called him Mr. Perspective. And Mr. Perspective came in my life in the form of a foster care baby that was about 3 months old. I was in the middle of crying and complaining to God like most people do that claim to, have it all together, which I didn't. I was crying and complaining. This little foster care baby came in our room, had no family, no friends. He was blind, he was deaf, and he had these seizures that were going to cause permanent damage in his life. Doctors hadn't given him much time to live. I remember sitting there in the corner asking God, why he was doing this to our family while I was looking across the room and seeing this young man who had nobody. I remember going out to the nurse's station, and it was at that nursing station where the journey for me began. I said, hey, is it okay if I hold this baby and begin to pray for him? His name was Elijah. And I went over, and the nurse said, absolutely. So I went over to Elijah and began to hold him, pray for him, ask God's protection on him. And something shifted in my perspective. That little boy, I believe, was created just for me. He was created to shift my perspective. Because how many know if you get in a season of disappointment in your life and pain, sometimes if you're not made of the right stuff, it can cause you to go a different direction. I remember holding that little boy and praying for him, realizing he had no one to pray for him, no one to look out for him. Had to take shots every day. He would cry. I would go hold him and console him. It was about a week into that journey that my wife and I and our oldest son was discharged from the hospital. And I had never heard whatever happened to that little boy. But his impact on my life still lives to today. The reason why I tell you that story is because we all have to deal with disappointment. We've all got to deal with different kinds of pain in our life. But it was that story of that little boy that really began to change my perspective on life. It was less about me and more about making an impact on the world around me. You have to hear it. Pain and disappointment, when properly handled, can shape a life for greatness. The reason why I commend this senior class is because you have faced your share of pain and disappointment through this season. Some of you have not been able to have the sports or the proms or the events that you were so looking forward to and you really deserved. But what I'm so encouraged is in the book of James says is when you find yourself in these situations or these seasons, you rejoice. You rejoice when you find yourself in all these diverse trials and temptations because the testing of your faith produces patience, and patience brings about every good work. Never will you read in Scripture, never will you find in the Bible where it says something like this, and things are normal and Jesus did a miracle. Actually quite the opposite. What you find is that Jesus came up to broken and uncertain things, and He, through His gift, made things certain and the foundation sure again. You have an opportunity. In this season of uncertainty that we're facing in our world today, this high school class has the opportunity to turn that uncertainty into opportunity. Our world needs faith-filled young men and women that will stand in the gap for their world and go meet needs. Jesus was compelled by needs. He gives us the playbook to live our lives, that we don't run from need, we don't run from disappointment, we use it to shape our lives to be able to make a great impact. This youth pastor of almost 20 years commends you. Commends you for keeping your head up. Commends you for looking at the horizon of your life and seeing opportunity where other people see uncertainty. Our world is in need of hope, and these VCS graduates have the ability to be that hope. I pray blessing over you. I pray favor upon you. I don't pray easy times for you. I pray that you are made of the right stuff and you will use this uncertainty as a springboard for your opportunity, that it will shape your life for greatness. I'm proud of you.